Hey guys, what's up? This is Nick with EDC Mag, and today we're going to talk about Grayman knives. Before we get into that, I want to talk real quick about another subject that I see a lot of questions about, and that is working on knives and what do we use. You see a lot of recommendations out there, and this is always one of the top recommendations that not only that do I see, but that I use. I moved recently and I had a few tools here and there from Wiha or Wiha, I'm not sure. I'm a hillbilly, I'm gonna say Wiha. And my tools got scattered, so I needed to get reset. So I was looking for just a kit and threw some questions out online to guys, and you know, the kits I were looking at had a lot of stuff in them that I really didn't need for knives, and that's primarily what the only thing I'm going to be using them for. So I really didn't need sockets, things like that. So of course the standard answer was Amazon, and obviously Amazon's a good answer for many questions, but the other big one was KC Tool, and it's kctool.com, and these guys are the biggest German tool distributor in North America. So I looked them up and found out that they're actually, I was not aware of KC Tool, they're actually close to my house. So I was able to order online and go there and pick them up in person. Didn't like the driver that I had chosen, and the people there were just super helpful and very knowledgeable, and they helped me out. I swapped them out, got one that was more appropriate for what I'm going to be using it for, and man, I could not be happier. So if you're looking, you want to do stuff with knives, you want to mod knives, you want to work on knives, take them apart, clean them, you know, whatever the case may be, I definitely recommend Wiha Tools. They make a ton of stuff, and they're just tough, they don't fail, and they have a lot of cool stuff out there. So if you are looking, you're curious, you're not sure, not only are Wiha excellent quality, but they are also very strong tools, and affordable. That's the key. Fantastic tools. So check out, obviously Amazon gets them to you in 3 days. So does KC Tool. KC Tool's more of a individual shop. Instead of supporting the man, support local business or independent business. You know, I recommend, if you can, try KC Tool, because you know, Amazon's okay. I love Amazon, I use Amazon constantly, but these guys, their customer service is just absolutely phenomenal. Definitely worth a look. Alright, so let's talk about this Grayman. This is the Grayman Satu. Now this knife has been discontinued for quite some time now, several years, I believe. Grayman knives started in 2004, and it's just Mike and Sue Grayman. They're out of California. These are 100% handmade knives in the US made. They make small batches. They've got 3 models of folder. Now, he started out with fixed blades. He spent a lot of time overseas. He started making primarily knives for military and police, first responder, and then he started making some folders, a few folders. They have 3 models. All 3 are discontinued. I'm not even sure if you can find a folder on their website now. I saw something a while back where someone had reached out to Sue and asked when they were going to make more, because these are in demand. People love these knives, and for good reason. And she said they are focusing more on their fixed blades right now, and so it might be a while. They don't really have any immediate plans to go back. They have the Satu, which is a 4.25 inch blade, which personally, by the way, that's my sweet spot for blades. The 4.25 inch for me is just perfect. They came out with a Dua, which was similar in design. It's at a 3.25 inch blade, so smaller. And then their last one was the Tega, which was a 3.1 inch blade, and it's a little bit different design. It's got a lot more belly in it. Obviously, those knives are not really my speed. They're a little bit smaller than what I prefer to carry. Still great knives, but I gotta have that big blade. Now this blade is S30V, 4.25 inches. This particular blade, most of them are just titanium. There were a couple of different options. This one happens to be carbon fiber. It is obviously a frame lock, and again, I know these have been out for a long time. There's probably, I haven't looked, but I'm sure there's hundreds of reviews on them. But well, here's another one. Very simply made, I mean very well made. These are brute knives. He says on the website, hey, my knives aren't made for collecting. They're made to go out in the shit and get it done, and they're ugly. And I'm here to tell you, his knives are not ugly. They are polished bronze, I think, washers. I'm not going to swear to it. They are washers, but I'm not going to swear they're bronze. I should have looked that up, but anyway, they're on washers. There's not a whole lot of moving parts in this thing, which is great, because when you're in the shit, you don't want a whole lot of moving parts, because that's just more stuff to fail. I've seen a few of these customized, and I've seen a few that were customized that just went really wrong and shouldn't have been, but you know what, everyone's taste is different. As far as the weight on these, let's find out. I think they're supposed to be around 10 ounces. Let's find out. Right about 10 ounces. There you go. Perfect. A little over. Just one of the reasons that I'd always looked at these knives. I liked the knife. I liked the look of it, but I avoided it because it was washers instead of bearings. A lot of that was just me early on being naive about. I had a lot of lesser, well, let's face it, cheap knives that were on washers, and the action was just crap on them. And so when I got it, started getting into higher knives, I focused on exclusively bearings. But that was, again, me being naive, because a knife, especially a bigger knife with this much blade, is going to have, should have tremendous action. Let's do the old standard. So we got a 4.25 inch blade here. We'll do the old standard Kershaw test. 3.25 inch blade. Ugh, serrations. Ugh, that's awful. So you can tell there's a significant difference everywhere as far as size goes. And again, I talk about this constantly, but the tallness of this blade is fantastic. I mean, this is Dundee. That's not a knife. That's a knife. Comes to mind, Grayman is a knife. It is a knife built to go with you wherever you're going to go, come out the other end, and just take care of business. I mean, it is a brute. It is one that you take into the zombie apocalypse. The other thing you guys probably didn't know about these knives is they're modular. You can actually just snap a few things, unhook a few things, and boom, new scales. I'm kidding, of course. This is my other Satu. This one, I happen to be a big fan of, and I'm not going to get hugely into this. At some point, I'm going to do a video exclusively on this. I see a tremendous amount of bashing about serrations. I sent this knife to Tom Veff and asked him to serrate it for me. I love the look of serrations when they're done correctly. Tom Veff obviously has a patent on these. He is the master and he knows how to make them. Now, there's a lot of hate out there about serrations because most people have only tried these on like a CRKT. So they're basing their experience of serrations on a very inexpensive soft blade steel, and you'll experience the serrations folding over and failing. Now, generally the sharpness on a 9CR blade itself is going to fail before the serrations do. I've actually had that happen in the bush. The blade failed. The only thing that was still working were the serrations. But obviously, when people are talking about serrations, you know, that's kind of what's in their brain right there. And those are just more or less useless. They're shit. I mean, they'll get the job done. And if you're cutting wire, cutting cordage, that's what they're for. And they will do that really well. And that's what these are for. They're not to cut, you know, just everything out there. They'll take your damn fingers off. But they're made to cut wire, cordage, different things of that level specifically. So when people are expecting them and asking them to do things that they're not designed for, and then getting pissed because they don't perform, that's kind of like asking me to run a marathon. It's not going to happen. And if you bet on me, you're going to lose. I was after this style of Satu. Now, obviously, I've had this one for... well, actually, that's not true. I've had this one... Well, anyway, I've had one for over a year, and I was after this finish because my intention was to have the scale customized. This is the one I came across. Who can say no to carbon fiber? So I've had this one for a while, absolutely love it, but I had an opportunity to pick up another one at a good price. So what I decided to do was go ahead and pick up a second one and go ahead and follow through with my original plan. Now, I am a nerd, and I found a sticker and I stuck it on there. That's just me being a dork. That's definitely not staying. As far as these knives go, it's a handful. I mean, they really are a handful. The action on them is actually fantastic. They're a brute. Now, I carried mine quite a bit. 10 ounces, you know they're in your pocket. But there's no disappointments on these knives. They're finished well. They're handmade, made in USA. The clip functions, I mean, it's basic, but it functions extremely well. Going into your pocket, catches well. Stays where you put it. You know it's there because it's a big knife. And comes out just as quick and ready to go. These do have a nice lanyard hole on them. But these are, a basic knife. I want to say You know, when I got into these, they were already discontinued. So, oh, I want to say they started at around 350, 395 maybe. I don't remember. They hold their value really well as long as somebody hasn't completely mucked one up, you know, like I did with this one. I love this thing. I have no intention of parting with it except for to have the scale Cerakoted. These do come in a black. I can't remember if it's Cerakote or DLC, I think maybe, as an option. I'm not a fan of that because I like to see the shape. It kind of just erases the the detail in blades when they're black to me, and I want to see all that. So there's no shortage of jimping on these things anywhere. You just can't lose. I mean, if you're on a job site and you want something quality and solid that you can just beat the living shit out of, that's your boy right there. Ooh. Oh, see? So there you go. Grayman Satu. Just a beautiful knife. Beast of a knife. They're big. They're strong. They are worth the money. CPM S30V Grayman USA. Super cool knife, no question about it. If you get a chance, check out their fixed blades too. Mike and Sue are just fantastic people, and their fixed blades are they're sick. I have not spent as much time on their fixed blades as I should because I'm not a huge fixed blade guy, but I will definitely have one at some point because they look mean, and they're built to perform. So check out Mike and Sue at Grayman Knives. I think that's going to do it, guys. If you have any questions, comments, let me know. Grayman Satu. If you're looking to work on something, check out Wiha. Check out KC Tool, kctool.com. Great people. Support a local business. Support a mom and pop shop. I think they'll get it to you there just as quick as, for the most part, just as quick as Amazon will. And sometimes, I can't say every time, but there are certain things they are actually cheaper on than Amazon. Plus, they have a whole host of other German tool brands besides just Wiha. So check them out too. But these are the tools that won't fail. They won't strip your screws. And they have a tremendously phenomenal warranty. Some really nice stuff that won't break the bank, which is what we're always looking for, right? Something cool that we can afford. That's kind of the goal. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate you tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We appreciate it. We're just getting started. We're having a lot of fun. Got a lot more coming up and a lot more down the road. So we appreciate it. So this is Nick with EDC Mag. And until next time, have a great one.